Hey everyone, welcome to a special year-end edition of not only Comic Book Cove, but Delve into the Void. As you well know, we like comic books. We like movies. We like movies that have comic book characters and figure characters such as Transformers. So this is a special year-end movie trailer discussion review as we talk about first a movie that we've seen and some movies that are coming out in 2017. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a special edition of Delve into the Void. Hello everyone, and welcome to the special edition year-end of Comic Book Cove and Delve into the Void. I'm Tom Morris.
And I'm Josh Holderbaum.
And like I said, we've been wanting to discuss movies for a little bit as in our comic book discussion. And what better way to start talking about movies than with all these trailers that are coming out right now at this time showing movies for the first half of 2017. There's just a ton of great movies coming out. Mm-hmm. Anything from, just to name a few, Star Wars, Wonder Woman, the list goes on and on. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about, before we start this, about the movies coming out the end of 2016 and 2017, let's talk about a movie that we've already seen that came out last month in Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a really, really great adaptation of a character who I really enjoy from Marvel Comics. That was a really, really cool film.
The acting was superb. Benedict Cumberbatch is a phenomenal actor. Anytime that you get him in a starring role or a supporting role or any role in general, Sherlock Holmes, the Khan, now Doctor Strange, he has a wide range and he is just superb. To me, he looked like Doctor Strange. If you read Doctor Strange in the comic book and you have this picture, that was Benedict. He just nailed it.
Yeah, and when they first cast him, I was trying to picture him so hard with a mustache, and I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't picture him with facial hair at all.
Right.
And then suddenly this came out. It's like, oh yeah, that works. That's perfect.
That was. What are some of your thoughts on, what were some of your favorite aspects of the movie?
Watching some of the training scenes, that was neat to see how that worked. That it's the gradual process where he's learning that the power is within him, not necessarily within his body, but it's within his spirit, and trying to get it through his, shaky hands after they've done that. It's a nice moral that brings us through that. And I also really enjoyed just seeing. We only see snippets of the vast worlds of magic that are out there.
Yes.
I mean, he gets his little acid trip when the Ancient One gives him the little thumb to the forehead, which, we only see bits and pieces of stuff that we may never see in the future. We see the Dark Dimension for a little bit, which he goes to at the end, but it opens the door for a lot of different places he could go.
That Dark Dimension and the graphics and special effects when they're fighting, that reminded me of the best parts of The Matrix and Inception, because just how well done it was. It was something new in the Marvel Universe. To me, I enjoyed it so much because it was kind of a new direction, a new territory. It was a little bit more serious in tone. That's what I liked about it as well, was it felt like it was, of course it had the typical Marvel humor when the one gave the Wi-Fi password and said, "This is your Wi-Fi password, we're not savages."
Yeah, and he asked, "Is this my mantra?" Yeah.
Yeah. Everything about that movie fit to me, and it was one of my favorite Marvel movies that I've seen just because it went in a different direction. Mm-hmm. The spells, when they crafted the spells, it really felt like it was a work of art where Strange just kind of pulled it apart. You had said before that the precision that they did.
Yep, and it's not just the generic, blasts out of your hands. Like, that you see that a lot in a lot of movies where they have wizards and stuff, and they just shoot things at one another, and that gets tiresome after a while.
It does.
And this had a different, different sort of elegance, like you said, to it. I mean, you're actually crafting something. You're warping reality to make a weapon.
Right. I liked the fact too that at the very end, Mordo, am I correct? Sometimes I butcher names. Was saying that we had too many magic users, and Doctor Strange kind of abused the laws of magic, so it turned him, which is going to get me to a point. If you go, most of us here, I see people, I still don't know why. If you go to a Marvel movie and you go on a Thursday night, because most movies open Friday, if you go to the special early showings, stay through the credits. There is always at least 2 credit scenes, one mid-credit, one end credit. I don't understand why people get up as soon as the movie is over and they're making a beeline for the door. Stay that extra 4 or 5 minutes. You're already there. Why do you leave? I don't understand it.
It's not even usually a beeline. It's just they just mosey on out, and they already see half the crowd staying sitting there intently waiting for something to happen. So you'd think that it would click with them, like, hey, maybe something's going to happen. But
yeah, because those 2 end credit scenes were very. One was the direction that Doctor Strange will take, and the other, you can tell them.
Oh, the other's a tie-in with Thor. It's like if you would just sit there for a couple more minutes and sit through some names on the screen, you're gonna see Thor in a few minutes.
Yeah, Thor.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Loki, Marvel Cinematic Universe, end credits. Stay. That's my public service announcement for this episode. I enjoyed it. And you, I take it as well.
Oh
We've
yeah,
talked about it.
That
It
was
a
really, really cool. I'm interested to see where that goes. I mean, they've already established that it sounds like he's going to be part of the Infinity Gems.
Yes.
Right when Thanos actually shows up, they've kind of implied that the Eye Agamotto was like the time gem essentially. So that'll be, that already sort of ties him into that story arc when
and Thor
when that
Ragnarok
happens.
as well with the second trailer scene, end credit. Doctor Strange, great movie. I recommend seeing it because of the acting, the material, the plot, the graphics, special effects. Everything worked for that one. One of my favorite movies that I've seen.